I'm Sammy the Bull, and I'm a fucking gangster. They had respect for me because I was in the street with them. I was one of them. Don't worry, I'm not gonna disappear, and I'm not gonna stop talking, and I remember all the stories. We weren't thinking about Christmas Eve, giving gifts. We were about to give bullets and do a total takeover of the family. We were planning and plotting the boss of the most powerful organized crime family in the country, Paul Castellano, the Gravano family. We were living together, me and Frankie the Chico, for a while. It was a different kind of a holiday for us. Planning and plotting, meeting underground, wasn't easy. No Christmas trees, no bells. December 16th, we made it happen. I didn't go home to my family. We didn't go home until the 24th of December. And even then, when I was taken home, there was 2 carloads of guys taking me home. All of them were armed. The war was on. So when I celebrate Christmas now, this year, buying gifts, thinking about my kids, my grandchildren, I can't get this thought out of my head of what was going on back then. These are good times, happy times. Just can't get the gangster out of my ass, that's for sure. Sitting here thinking multiple different ways of what happened then and what's happening now. My son said, "Dad, we were going out to get gifts. You seem so serious." I smiled at him. Christmas is a serious time. What are you thinking? What am I thinking? I'm thinking back, son. What happened in 1985. You know what went on. And how many Christmases I spent in prison. I guess this is a special Christmas. And now I'm on social media with all you guys, friends, all my followers. It's great to be with you guys. And your thoughts, my prayers for you guys, and your prayers that you give me all the time. You send me messages. It's just such a beautiful time. I had a conversation last night with somebody, and I was talking about, you know, part of Paul Castellano's downfall. I said, you know, he lost sight of the streets, what a gangster is, and what a racketeer is. He got a little greedy, and he was helping racketeers who were bringing in envelopes. They're more business-like than a gangster. A gangster's a thug. Guys in the street killing. For the family, for the boss. And I got a couple of stories that I told the guy that I was talking to, and I said, you know, a couple of things I can remember with Paul is that I once got a container guy, and I was going to become partners with him in a business. Now, my end, I was going to get 50% of the company. I went to Frankie the Chico, my friend who I grew up with all my life, who was like a brother with me. And I said, Frankie, I got this business, and I'm going to go 1/3 for me, 1/3 for you, and of course I'm going to put it on record with Paul, and I'm going to give him 1/3. So he says, no, you don't have to do that, Sammy. I said, nah, you know, you're not doing well. This will be good. You're with the Teamsters. You could push work to him. I could. We'll make a few bucks out of this. Some good money. And we don't have to do nothing, really. He says, all right, thanks, Sammy. So I went to the boss, Paul Castellano, and I told him what I was going to do. And he said, no, Sammy, you don't have to do that. Frankie's a gangster, he's a thug. We do this is a business deal. Your end, we'll go 50-50, me and you. You don't need Frankie with this. I didn't answer. Of course, I said, okay. But I felt like saying, I'm a gangster and I'm a thug too. But I didn't say nothing, of course. And I left and I went back to the guy and I said, listen, I'm not going to go partners. I'm too busy right now, maybe in the future. And I went to Frankie and I said, Frankie, this is what he said, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to kill the whole idea. Why, Sammy? You could make some money. Do it. I said, no. He's got his head up his ass with racketeers and money and, too much. So I didn't do it. And that's what kind of turned the tear with Paul. He lost thought of the street. Who's important? And this is where this conversation went on with somebody. So he said, well, isn't a racketeer the same thing as a gangster? I said, no, it's not. A racketeer is a business guy. He does business, it brings in money. Of course you love him. But he doesn't kill people. He doesn't do anything like that. He's not a thug. He's a racketeer. Now, when you forget about your thugs, your gangsters, and the racketeer becomes more important to you, there's another little story. We were in Paul's house, a whole bunch of us. Roy DeMeo, John Gotti, Frankie DeChico, myself, and on and on. All kinds of tough guys. And Paul said, the true tough guys are cops. You could have heard a pin drop. He said there's a domestic violence case or something. They go, they run in the house. They don't know what they're going to find. And it's dangerous. And it is. Nobody's denying that. But you're telling a bunch of hit guys the true tough guy is a cop? Kind of shows how he lost touch with the reality of the mafia. When we got up to leave, we were in a pack walking towards the door, and Paul was right behind us. Roy DeMeo said pretty loud, we all heard him, I'm sure Paul must have heard him, and he said, the next time he needs somebody killed or something done, maybe he should go call a fucking cop. There was a few little giggles. We walked out. But how true. What a thing to say to guys who risk their life and go in the street to kill for the family, to kill for you, that a cop is a true tough guy. I'm not going to argue the comparison. Sure, he's a tough guy to run into a house, but we're not talking about cops. We're talking about gangsters. He's talking to gangsters. His gangsters. So that's why a lot of gangsters lost respect for him and went the other way. So the person answered me back, well, if the racketeer is told to go on a murder, he has to go, right? Yeah, that's the rule, or he dies. But the boss knows the difference between a racketeer and a gangster. He'll never ask the racketeer to go on a murder. It's not his cup of tea. He's a bookkeeper. He's a businessman. But he will go to the gangster, the thug, who he is now starting to look down on. So when you become the boss of a family or in a powerful, powerful position, You got to remember these people. If a war breaks out, or you need a murder, or you need protection, are you going to call racketeers? Or are you going to call those gangsters? So when it's time to eat, give it to some of the gangsters. Love them as much as you love that racketeer, maybe more. It's another thing when I used to walk into the club with John Gotti. 10, 12 guys, 14 guys would get up, jump up, come over, shake my hand. Hey, Sammy, this. They did that because I was a gangster. I wasn't sitting on my ass giving orders. When there was a hit to be done, I was in the street with them with a gun in my fucking hand. Now, it's not an easy thing. There's so many things that could go wrong. Mainly, police. There could be 2 cars, 3 cars, 4 cars before you have a chance to breathe. Would that ever happen to a racketeer? No. He can get arrested because he's doing some union stuff, or he's got a business and he's not paying his taxes, or whatever he's doing. He's a bookmaker. These guys, they're the backbone. The guys got up and jumped and shook my hand because I was one of them. They had respect for me because I was in the street with them. I was one of them. So a lot of people, I'm trying to explain what a gangster is and what a racketeer is and what life is all about. My fans, my people, my family, you people are family to me. And I don't forget you. I know you want to hear these stories, and I'm going to tell them. I'm making content, but there's a lot of things. We're going to change this whole thing. I'm working on all kinds of different things coming up in January. We're going to put all different kinds of contents out. I'm going to do things that are very, very theatrical. Some things are fun things. I want you to see my team when I'm working with my team. I'm going to put out all different kinds of different things. Now, it won't always be the podcast that you used to, but there'll be lots of different stories, and I'm not going to forget you. I know what you want to hear, and in some places I'm in contracts to do things. It's getting tougher and tougher. I've been telling the stories for a long, long time, but I'm not going to forget them, and I'm not forget you guys. So there'll be a lot more to come. I'm even going to do some short little movies and things like that and put it out, little clips. I think you're going to love this stuff. You're like me, my little gangsters. Love you guys. Don't worry, I'm not going to disappear, and I'm not going to stop talking, and I remember all the stories. I got all the inside information, and I'm going to do live things that you send me messages. I answer, not all of them I can't, but I answer tons of them. And I'm going to answer some of them live. I want to interact with you guys because I love you. I don't want to hear, there's other guys talking on shows and whatever. They're talking horse shit. They don't even know what they're talking about. Half the times they're lying, and they don't even know what they're talking about half of the times. I listen to some of these things, and it's a joke. They'll try to use my name, and I understand the game. They use my name. They figure people will listen or watch their show, or they'll say something negative they want me to answer, thinking that all you guys would follow and listen to them. I don't pay them no mind. Because they're, especially when they talk negative. I wish they would come here. I would invite them here with me. I'm 77, pushing 78. Don't be scared. Don't sit in the basement with your little bullshit computer. Come and talk to me. And we could talk. I'll give you a good explanation on what these are all about.
All right, Sammy, so we got a comment from a guy named Bart Wiley. He says, damn, man surrounded by beauty and brains. Sammy's got it going on. Happy holidays.
Thank you so much, Bart. Bart is his name?
Yep.
Thanks, Bart. The beauty, I guess you're talking about me, and the brains of the girls? Or do I have that backwards? I love your comments. The girls are beautiful. They have braids. They're good people, and they're loyal. They're great. And I'm building the team as I go. But I appreciate your little question.
Perfect. We got another one from Ronald J. Gutierrez. He says, Sammy is the best. I wish I could have a friend like him, straight up.
You do, Ronald. We are friends. You're communicating. I'm reading your messages. I hear you. I don't see you. I'm not together in the same room with there's so many people. But I'm with you guys because I do read these comments. I don't allow people to answer for me. Sometimes you won't get a message, but you're not going to get phony messages or stuff like that. I'm with you. I read your messages. I love them. They make me stronger, and I feel great. It's right before the holidays to get the messages. You saw us with the blog going out to dinner. We had a long day. We went into a place and we just had great dinner, friendships together, and sometimes they follow me behind the scenes. We're doing more and more of that stuff, and I'm going to answer. We're going to do these things where there's live chats with the audience, with everybody, and I'm going to get involved so that we could, I want to be part of it with you guys, and I want you guys to be part of it with me. So stay tuned.
Got another comment from Tommy. He says, I love seeing Sammy play chess. I wonder what rating he is. I bet he's pretty good.
Well, Tommy, I played chess in prison for a while, and I played, you saw me playing chess with Vitali, and, Asian guys, they're hard to beat in these games. They're pretty good. I whipped his ass. But, I'm not great, but I handle myself in the game. It's a strategy game. I love it. You know what the game brings me back, and I say to myself, this game was invented 1,000 years ago. Who invented this game? What a mind to invent a game like this. And now kids in colleges and universities, they learn it because it's a thinking game. It's about strategy. So, and it's a good game for kids all the kids should play chess when they go to school. It's the strategy of your moves. You have to think 2 or 3 moves ahead. And you have to think, what is he moving? What is he doing? He's 2, 3 moves ahead of me. Well, every time a guy makes a move, I think, why did he do that? What's on his mind? That's what this game is about. You have to understand what's on his mind to defeat him. It's a great game.
The last one right here is from Happy B. They said, Thanksgiving barbecue? Didn't see that coming. I'm jealous. It's freezing and pouring here in Scotland. Glad to see you had a good time with your friends.
Hey, I appreciate it. Don't be jealous. It's cold over here a little bit. Well, not as much, but Scotland's a great place, and I got a lot of people from there sending me messages. It's so good to hear from people like that, like you guys in these different countries as well. It's magnificent to hear that stuff, and what were you eating? Baked potatoes that you were jealous? I mean, there's no food over here. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon. So I'll leave with my normal adios, motherfuckers.
Next week on Mafia Stories Untold.
Somebody asked me, what's the trick of running the whole city? It's all about control. No matter who you are, how tough you are, it's control. Stay motivated. Keep going. You have a dream, go after it. Not in a crazy way. Just fight back every day and enjoy the fight. Don't get frustrated. Don't let them get the best of you. Do the best you can and motivate yourself